What is up? It is your boy once again, and today we are doing the Dobinson 2.5-inch full suspension lift on my baby, the Granite Grand. I got help from my boy Mike, Phenomenal on IG, and you know him, Own Your Recreation on YouTube. He's the brains behind this operation. I'm just learning, so let's do this. Wish us luck.
Start it up.
All right, first step today, second step after taking the wheel off, remove that fat caliper.
The fat boy.
See, the cameraman always got an excuse not to work. I think this is where you twisted that one off last time.
There we go. Lovely. I like this because it's like a breaker bar slash ratchet. It's like a ratcheting breaker bar. Yeah.
So you're telling them they need to go get one of them ratcheting breaker bars.
I mean, it does help. So you don't have to switch from your breaker bar back to your ratchet, or if you're using a torque wrench, you don't want to use your torque wrench to do anything but torque down. So when you're using that to loosen up stuff, you can end up stripping the teeth. So if you're gonna strip anything, Harbor Freight.
All right, so once you get the brake caliper out, we got to zip tie it out of the way right now. And we got to get rid of that. What's that sensor too? That's the brake line sensor. What is that?
It's either ABS or wheel speed sensor.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Once you unscrew it, it pops out. We'll tie that out of the way. And then next will be the sway bar link and the, what else we got?
So we have sway bar link, tie rod end, and then just getting the shock strut out.
And she comes out.
If we don't have to pop the axle shaft out a little bit. But
which we had to do on the driver's side. Made it a little easier to get that strut in there. It's a tough squeeze. So Mike, what size socket are you using for that sway bar link?
So the sway bar link has a tip at the end here that on the other side took an 8mm, and then the bolt that's on there is an 18mm. So I put that on the bolt, and then I'm trying to fit the 8mm around here. Now this bolt is kind of exposed, so it's gonna have elements on there from just normal everyday driving or off-roading, so might have to clean it off to actually get the 8mm to fit on there. So some juice. I might have to put some juice on there, man. Make sure you get it on there. Well, that's one way to get it done.
All right, lunchtime. Eat. All right, we're back from lunch. And we got the tie rod now to disconnect. What's that, step 3? Step 3, tie rod disconnect.
So, to get this loose, most of the times you use a persuader, bang on the knuckle, but you always want to keep this nut on here so when it drops, you know, this doesn't just flop anywhere and just makes it safer. So yeah, we'll give it a couple whacks and see if we can get that loose. I'm doing these ones up here light because I don't want to damage the threads by hitting the bolt. Just a little shock to it, but most of it's right here. As you can see, it's starting to split apart. Boom, there you go. So this is the, I don't know, is this the clevis piece or whatever? The bottom of the strut tower?
Yeah.
Connecting to the lower control arm.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Go. I'll try to lift first.
And then just so you guys know, 24 millimeter bolt, or excuse me, 24 millimeter nut, and the bolt head is a 21 millimeter.
You want some lift on it?
Let's see.
Wait.
Yeah, maybe a little lift.
Little lift.
Going up. All right, some more persuasion right here on the knuckle. That'll get the upper control arm to pop on out. Again, we're leaving that nut on there so when it pops out, everything kind of stays right there instead of this coming and hit me in the face or other catastrophic events. There we go. Shock value 101. There you go. Boom.
So everything is loose and out of the way. Now it's time to get the strut out. I step. Just gonna loosen up these. We'll be good to go. And there she blows. The old stock one. With my 2-inch spacer, rough country spacer on there. I don't know, you guys let me know in the comments if I should make the spacer a giveaway. A little dirty, I promise I'll clean it up. Let me know if you want it. All right, here we go. The stock front strut on the passenger side. We're gonna put some pressure on this so that we can release the top part of this. You said it's called the what, Mike?
The spring retaining the boot, the rubber piece in there that lets you align the spring to the correct.
And then inside there we got the bump stop, right?
Yep.
So then we're gonna put that on the new Dobinson strut. We'll be good to go. Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I went ahead and just bought some brand new shock mounts for the Jeep because my 2-inch spacers on this old one, those little nuts are just, I don't know, they're just little cheap nuts, and no matter how hard we tried to crank on those to loosen them, they just kept stripping. So I just went ahead and bought some new ones. Boom.
With the 2 in the front.
2 in the front, 1 in the back. That's what she said.
So now we can take this off and I know where to put the spring compressors because there's a flat space right here.
Ooh, we got this strut going.
Check that out.
She's good to go. All right. Time to throw her in. All right, time to go in. This will finish the front.
Let's do it, Dobinson.
Cool.
Oosh. All right, so we just got done putting in the front of the new Dobinson 2.5-inch suspension lift. We got to do the back, so we about to back out and back that thing up. But yeah, you can see right now with the new tires on there, he's got good clearance. But wait till you see the front though. Look at that front. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that gap.
All right, here we are on the rear of the Jeep now, and we got the wheel off. Now we just got to get the sway bar link undone. That one is probably the most time consuming just because all that grit and grime on that bolt. And we'll get that control arm loosened up. We should be able to drop that front strut or shock, and we'll go from there. There she
There
goes.
it is. Just a little bit of pounding and persuasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, she's out the way. Now we start on that control arm.
Either that or let's get the shock out. What are we about to do now?
All right, taking the shock off now. It's gonna have tension going that way, so when I release it, it's gonna kind of shoot down. I can get a good angle on this thing.
Good thing that's not the engine bay.
Yeah. Goes.
Got him. So that's the top.
Top.
Yeah, we're just gonna get to the bottom down there. I think one side's a 24 millimeter and one side's a 21 millimeter.
Free at last, free at last.
Yeah, so now we just gotta get this off of here to reuse on the new shock.
Right side. Yeah, it's a little tighter than the last one.
Is that the right one? Oh, you know what? Last time, you know what we did? I just stuck an Allen wrench down in there while you.
Oh, and we just finagled it.
Yeah. Okay.
I wonder if that.
Allen's are right in the drawer underneath you. I just kind of wedge this in there.
Stick the 8mm on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh. Why don't we try hitting the gun on there real quick?
Yeah.
Loosen that nut. Okay, let me get the bigger one.
Cool.
Call that a win. So far, we're doing good.
Winner, winner. Chicken dinner.
Yes, sir.
Don't stop.
About to eat that nut.
Little cap on the OEMs. Don't need that anymore. Doesn't fit on the Dobinson.
Yeah, you can just leave that on there.
Yeah. I think on this one, I'm gonna have a Dobinson sticking out.
There you go.
Cool. Don't stop. Down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should have taken the time to just clean everything. That bad boy.
Now the fun begins.
Okay, this 18, you want to make sure you got a curved one there, because that's kind of the only way you can get between that rubber grommet. And you got to just push it in, and it's going to get shallower and shallower as you get tighter, and you'll have to end up angling it. What size Allen was this?
That is a 6mm Allen key.
All right, so 6mm Allen key right in the center of that. And just go to work.
Take your time. You'll get it.
A few curse words here and there.
Maybe a busted knuckle. But you'll be alright.
We gotta get this sway, or not the sway bar, the control arm, right?
Yeah, one of the other control arms. Off of there.
So we got 18 on this side, 18 on this side, and see if we can fit her in, all right? Funky. All right.
There you go.
Go.
That bolt in there.
Leave it in there.
Yeah.
All right, so what we got? What we got?
We got him. We got him on out of there.
So what we ended up doing, we started trying to loosen up this control or sway bar link. That is a nightmare to do. When we could have just detached the sway arm from over here in the back, which gave us enough drop to get the spring out. For all you guys doing this project, you may not even need to loosen up your sway bar link. Just loosen the sway bar itself in the rear of the vehicle and you'll get enough drop to get the spring out.
All right, guys, so when you guys get the spring out, make sure you just kind of inspect and service your spring perch. There's typically some dirt and grime in there. It's always good to just take a little wire brush, or any kind of brush for that matter, and just scrape away and just get all that dirt and grime out. That way when you put the spring back in, you're not putting it back in on top of dirt. This is also a spring retainer that you want to kind of just brush off too. You can see that there's a little bit of grime in there. Just clean it up, make it look fresh, you know? Slap him back in there. All right, time to put the new spring in. You're going to make sure you line up the spring retainer with the spring, so it sits in there.
Use some juice.
Yeah. Get in there good. Now we're going to use a little juice on top of here and on top of the top spring retainer. I don't know if you can see it in there. Just so it slides in better.
Juice.
Juicy. Oh, juicy. A little dab will do ya. That'll help us slide and glide, baby. Slide and glide. Footies with the goodies. Voila, Richie, got him. Look at that gap. Look at that crowd on her. Woo, look at that rear gap. Mm-hmm. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Woo-hoo! We have takeoff. Yeah, buddy. Rolling like a big shot. Finished product. It looks beefy. Shake it in the mouth. You go ahead.
All right. Dobinson 2.5-inch lift. HD springs, struts and shocks. Hasn't quite settled yet. I think before we measured the back at 35 and a quarter. We're now at 37 and a quarter in the back. Sitting pretty. Oh no, I'm thinking 33s now. This is 32 and a half. Might have to.